guys, it's Sarah. Today I'm going to be doing the musical theater book tag. For those of you who do not know, I am a huge theater nerd, so I thought this would be fun. This tag was created by Lydia, and I will link to that down below. Alright, question 1 is Wicked, your favorite fictional friendship. This is pretty obvious, but I'm going to say Harry, Ron, and Hermione from the Harry Potter series by J.K. Rowling. I think the three of them just really complemented each other very well. They were all three very well fleshed out characters, and it was a lot of fun to see them growing up. And I think that's why so many people connected with this series the way they did, and why people were so obsessed with it. Yes, the magical aspect is really fun, but I think ultimately it's the characters that people connect with. The next question is Sweeney Todd, your favorite villain. For this, I'm going to say Peter Baelish from the A Song of Ice and Fire series by George R.R. Martin. This might have something to do with Aidan Gillen, the actor who plays him on the Game of Thrones TV series, because I think he's just great. I know he is a totally asshole character. He's like the worst guy you could ever think of, but there's just something that I like about him. I don't really know what it is. More so in the TV show than in the book. But I feel like every time there's a scene with him in it, I am really interested. Maybe that's just because he's hot. Either way, gonna have to say Littlefinger. That's his nickname for those of you who aren't Game of Thrones nerds. The next question is Phantom of the Opera, favorite love triangle. For this one, I'm gonna have to say Peeta, Gale, and Katniss from The Hunger Games by Suzanne Collins. This is also a bit of an obvious one, but I remember when I first read these books, I was kind of going back and forth between which one was my favorite and which one I wanted her to end up with, and I feel like that's what a good love triangle does. It kind of makes you switch perspectives. And I really just liked both characters. I think in the books I probably liked Peeta a little more, and in the movies I probably liked Gale a little more. I don't know. The next question is The Lion King, favorite sidekick. Now for this I'm going to say Biff from Lamb, The Gospel According to Biff, Christ's Childhood Pal by Christopher Moore. Now if you guys haven't read this, you really should, because it's hilarious. It's really funny, but it also has some really poignant things to say, I think. And it's really kind of thought-provoking as well. But Biff is a great character. Obviously, if he's Christ's best friend from childhood. And anyway, you should definitely read this book because it's funny. Oh, and don't let it put you off if you're a Christian and you're afraid that it's going to be making fun of Christianity, because I didn't get that at all from the book. I think it's just supposed to be like a fun, lighthearted read. The next question is Grease, least favorite ending. Because apparently Lydia did not like the ending to Grease, which I totally agree with her on. Anyway, my answer for this is also going to be pretty obvious, and that is Allegiant by Veronica Roth. I'm not going to spoil anything, but for those of you who have read it, I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. But it wasn't just the big, shocking event that happened at the end. The whole book, I thought, was really just not good. I mean, I really liked the first two books in the Divergent series, and I liked the whole world that she created, and there were a lot of cool things about the premise, but I feel like she took all of that and kind of threw it away in the third book. And a lot of it didn't make sense. A lot of it was boring. I really didn't understand the whole dual perspective thing. Like, there was really no point to that. And they both sounded exactly the same. I just had a lot of issues with that book in general. But I also really didn't like the ending. So I would say, yeah, that's definitely my least favorite ending of a book and of a series. Now, I will probably still go see the movies because I'm curious. The next question is Matilda, the musical, favorite adaptation. Now, for this, I'm going to say the film version of The Perks of Being a Wallflower. The novel, The Perks of Being a Wallflower, was written by Stephen Chbosky, and I think the main reason why I thought this film worked as much as it did is because Stephen Chbosky also wrote and directed the film. And this is a man that has worked a lot in the film industry and has written a lot for film and, you know, been a filmmaker for a long time. So I think he really understands how film works as a medium and how the best way to do an adaptation, which is why I think it worked so well. And obviously he understands the work because he wrote it. But I think this film is pretty much perfect. I loved it. The next question is Les Miserables, favorite death in a book. Now for this, I'm actually going to say the book Les Miserables, and this isn't really a spoiler unless you don't know, but I mean basically everyone dies in this book. Anyway, if you don't want to be spoiled, stop watching. But I am going to say Jean Valjean, just because I thought that his death was written so beautifully. And listen to the last 4 lines. He sleeps, although so much he was denied. He lived, and when his dear love left him, died. It happened of itself in the calm way that in the evening nighttime follows day. Victor Hugo. So much love. For more on my thoughts on Les Miserables, you can check out my longer video that I will link to down below, because it was epic. Alright, that's it for me. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe and comment. I am going to tag anyone who wants to do this tag. Alright, bye!